341-8255, the New Orleans Talk Network. Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
I just want to say that it is good to be in the land of the living and to do God's work. And it's a lot going on in our community, and we're going to get to that. But first of all, I want to say thank you, Lord, for giving me opportunity to serve and to do your work. Now, everybody ain't going to like what I say and what I suggest, but that means you got to get involved. You got to sometimes put your personal feelings aside and sometimes shut up. Action speaks louder than words. And what I'm looking for is this morning, in a few minutes, I'll be getting a visit from one of my great friends, Pastor Rogers. He's probably stuck in traffic somewhere on the West Bank, and if you hear me, Pastor, we're looking for you. But today's topic, New Orleans Talk Network, is hostages that fight back. It's solutions. And I think I hear Pastor Rogers right now. But I'm going to say that solutions, that word, solutions, think about it. There's a lot of people that don't even understand it. That means solving a condition. But most people, and I hear a lot of the radio shows, the competitives, and TV shows, and I read the newspaper. People, I can name some of them. Some look like me and some look like the other people, but they always criticize. They always give their opinions, but that's about it. That's about far as their work goes. And we need to be about doing God's business. We need to be about doing something that's gonna make a difference, not just talking, not just waiting to be the next person in line to give their opinion. But we know Jesus was a doer. You know, he was a hands-on, and that's why they wanted to kill him, because what he spoke about, he did. And many of us, we say we following Christ. We're not really following Christ. It's about us. And I was one of the radio shows I listened. I called in and I said, there is no I and we and us, ours. But a lot of people in these organizations, and they know who they are, it's all about them. They will destroy all the progress that organizations have just because they have a beef. It's about them. It's all about them. Nobody but them. So with all that said, I'm going to say this to you, that I'm going to invite my listening audience, and I got some faithful who are soldiers, to call me and give me their opinion. They citing what, call me at 504-341-8255. And I'm looking to see what you got to offer there. So with all that said, I was looking at the Tribune, and it's very knowledgeable, and it was talking about the failure on all fronts. It says what we really need to know about our school unification. I hear all this money they done put for the recovery schools and everything. Our schools, and I'm saying this, since Hurricane Katrina, when they fired all the teachers of color, we got all these charter schools, we got money, throwing after money. We got a school board, New Orleans school board, that's pretty much doing nothing. They got a school board, but they're not doing nothing. My daughter graduated from McDonald 35, I think in '96, and they got 35 in limbo. The school is just sitting there, and most of the time they don't know where they're going. I see they got the AMP1, and it is a mess. They got kids that can't get in school. They should be in school, the schools of their choice, but they got you got a kid that wants to go to a school, and they got 800 people ahead of them. Man, that's something. We did that, but and I don't want to make this thing a racial thing, but with the schools and with the AMP, we trusted some of the people, some of our brothers and sisters of our white counterparts. We trusted them. That white is right. They have not, our schools, our children, they got a budget, I think it's $38 million that our children are standing out waiting for the bus at 5:30 in the morning to go 20 miles to another school, maybe across the river. They got kids coming from Laurel, Algiers, catching a bus to go to Ninth Ward or to New Orleans East or vice versa. And the school's still failing. So, as I said, are our schools any better? I think that they done spent a lot of money on publications, and it hasn't made it. I look at the superintendent, his salary, and I look at the school board with some of our members here, and I could ask them, what have you done for us lately? What have you done for the children of New Orleans, besides confusion? And I hear parents, our children are being used as guinea pigs. It's no better than before. As a matter of fact, it's worse. I see charter schools, they fail, they apply for on another name, and they're back in business with our children, and our children are still failing. And each charter school I found that has its own rules and regulations. So, our children, again, are being used. I want to invite your comments concerning the school system, concerning crime, and that's where Pastor Rogers gonna be when he gets here. We talk about the solutions. I think that we're gonna take a break, and then when you come back, we're gonna have my co-host and my special guest, Pastor Minor Rogers. This is Brother Al Mims, Hostage That Fight Back, New Orleans Talk Network.
Hi, I'm Evangelist Melanie Pichon. Listen, I'd like to invite you to view our Forgiven Talk Show every Thursday from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time until 12 noon. We talk about issues, we talk about challenges, we talk about those things really that other folks don't want to talk about. Listen, if you want to talk about something, if you want to give us some suggested ideas, comment below and we'll do our best to get at you. Remember, every Thursday from 11 a.m. Central Standard Time until 12 noon, the Forgiven Talk Show.
Listen up. Your customers, our listeners, could be hearing about your business right now. Yeah, right now. Don't miss out on the opportunity to advertise with NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. Call our business department today at 504-475-4793 to hear about our great rates. NewOrleansTalkNetwork.com. We provide the people, you provide the business.
Are you looking for a home to live stream your next event? Give us a call here at Bethesda Community Event Center, the only place on a Gulf Coast that can host and broadcast live your wedding reception, your baby shower, business seminar, and any other special event. Give us a call at 504-708-9454 for more details.
It gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Brother Al Mims, and guess what? I have my special guest and my boy, my partner, my friend, my comrade, my co-host, Pastor Minor Rogers. And look, let me tell you something, even traffic can't stop him, girl. Even traffic. I want my listening audience to chime in, to call in, and talk to Pastor Rogers and myself about solutions. You know, as I said, all the time. And I'm not picking on him, but he's a doer. See, talk is cheap. Jesus showed us by example. He went to the cross. He was a doer. He was a hands-on person. You know, he went there one-on-one. He talked and his action speaks, but I don't see that. Some of the people, they're destroying everything because of me, mine, I. I don't see no I in us or we. Ours, huh?
Or team.
A team, come on. So, Pastor, to some and to others, I want to introduce my special guest, and you're going to see him many times, and I'm looking forward in the future to have his lovely wife here, and God, she ain't nothing nice. But to others, Pastor Minor Rogers of Heart to Heart.
Well, God bless you, El. Thank you once again for having us on. I could not say no when you called.
He said he couldn't do it, but he called me back and said, "Wife said you can do it." She ain't nothing like a wife, bro. A wife.
It's a helpmate, right? Well, when you gave me the topic, you said solutions, and I thought about that,
and we had phone problems. We couldn't. That wasn't double busy, man. But he kept saying, "Oh yeah," I said, "Oh," and I cut it on phone. I said, I don't know whose phone it is, but we got to get solutions, pal. We got to get a solution in here.
And a solution is simply an action or process by which we solve a problem. I am convinced that you will never solve a problem concentrating on the problem. In fact, that's what I teach. I teach that you solve problems by first identifying the problem and then concentrating on the solution.
Well, I want to say to Pastor, you had your the event, and I was there, and it was very successful. Would you like to give the listening audience a kind of overview of what happened, what was going on, and what some of the things that you're doing because of what the event was last month?
Again, the vision was founded on the principle of family. Of course, we coined it a family affair. Yes. And let me say this, because of the magnitude of the success that we experienced, I'd like to listen to the audience and know that was our first family affair. It's going to be an annual festival, if you will.
A successful annual affair.
God actually gave us a vision to reach out and to involve He gave us a creative way to actually commemorate the death of Jesus which was Good Friday, and that's what
Friday.
Good Friday is about.
Yes.
In fact, it was a Good Friday for us, but it was a bad Friday for him.
Yes, yes, yes.
But he
took
gave
it.
us he took it. He gave us a way to commemorate the death of Jesus Christ, plus to communicate the importance of healthy living.
Yeah.
It does us no good to run in and out of the church week after week and build up our spirit man if in fact our physical man certainly is torn down. So we were able to creatively minister to the total man, spirit, soul, and body. Spirit, of course, through the preaching of God's word. Soul, of course, through music, and then the body, of course, through educating our people on how to live healthy. And of course, it was a tremendous success. The community supported us, and we're just believing that the impact is a lasting one. It just was not on that Friday.
What I want to say, I'm gonna put you on the spot, Pastor, because good news, bad news travels far, but your church is at 3631 Washington Avenue, right? Do you know that you have that for the success of that event, there are churches that are going in other directions, in other locations. That's what I want. Locations that are encouraged or inspired. That's the word I'm looking for, by what you did, because that wasn't just a Central City thing. That they have people coming from all over the city that heard about it, and they didn't came just for the music, but it was the word. They had they dealt with HIV, AIDS. You had colds and jobs, and there was. I got leaflets, and I was there, and I watched. The word was they were fed internally, spiritually, and you had dealing with the problems of our community. Would you like to explain on that?
You know, Al. Here's the thing. Here's the thing about vision. Whenever God gives vision, He certainly gives provision. We can't put God in a box. Are you with me?
Yeah, come on.
When God again, when He moves, it's to impact everybody. Are you with me? So when you begin to become sensitive to the voice of God, and then you move out in the ways and the will of God, then the way of God, the will of God is already blessed. We don't have to make it happen. We just let it happen when it comes from God.
You know, Pastor, it almost seemed impossible. And I'm speaking, I'm with you, but I'm on the other side of that, of the family affair, and it almost seemed humongous when you came to spoke about that. Being on the other side, we on the possible now, but it seems so. It was so many things that needed to be done, but you got them.
Again,
there were some roads, some challenges.
Again, when it's God, that's what the Bible says. Faith is the substance of things hoped for. It's the evidence of things not seen. And the thing about a God vision is, although you may not understand it, the key is just believing it. Are you with me? See, in the natural, seeing is believing.
Ouch.
But in the spirit, believing is seeing.
Yes.
Are you with me? So you got to first believe it in order for it to come to pass. The Bible says about Abraham, it talks about how he was childless, but he wanted God to give him some type of proof of what was going to happen. And the Bible says, and he believed God, and God counted that for righteousness. So again, when it comes to a God vision or moving in the will of God, believing is the key.
And Pastor, you know, and I know you well. You're a good friend of mine, you know, and you done beat me up with the word. The truth, the truth. No, the truth. But I want to say this to you. You said no. You don't apologize. You said, but you said, you know, Pastor, you are a strong-willed person. I'm not going to put you on the spot. Is that when you spoke about it, and I didn't have any reservations, but man, you every facet of that that vision, you were involved in it.
You gotta believe it, man.
I gotta go, Al. I gotta go. They calling me, Al.
Again, man, when it's God, you gotta move in faith. You can't open the door for doubt.
Okay.
You can't open the door for fear. Okay. You gotta make sure you got every window and every door closed, and you should just surround yourself. You're insulated with this thing called faith. Now, here's the thing about faith. Here's the thing about faith, you can't make it happen. Faith comes from above. Okay. You know, God gives faith. The Bible says that it comes by hearing, and hearing certainly by the word of God. Faith doesn't take intellect. Are you with me? It doesn't take imagination. Are you with me? Again, faith, it's a belief. It's a belief that's birthed.
Well,
it's a gift. It's a gift.
Well, let me just say something. My listening audience, this man of God, and he has helped me in so many ways. And I want you to know, I just wanted him to let the audience know about the solutions. Now, solutions means, Pastor, when I say solutions, Pastor, what come to your mind? Will you give our listening audience, what do you see?
Again, when we talk about solutions, we talk about action. It's an action or process to solve a problem. And again, I think one of our problems is we deal with fruit and not the root.
Give me that
Are you with me?
Yeah,
we deal with the fruit and not the root. You know, we try to deal with, let's just say things like murder.
Okay.
Are you with me? We deal with the murder work. Everybody talking about the murder rate, yada, 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 and what we're going to do to curtail murder. Well, you have to understand, murder ain't the problem.
Okay.
Murder is the fruit of the problem.
Okay.
Are you with me?
Okay.
What we got to do is, when we're dealing with problems, we have to dig down to the root to find out what's causing the murder. Or you with me? I'm no gardener, but where I live, my wife likes flowers, right? And every so often, I got to get out in the garden. Okay. Or you with me? To keep her from getting out in the garden, I get out in the garden. Now, one of the things that gardening taught me was you can pull. I couldn't understand how, I get out in the garden and I call myself, weeding the garden, and then 2 or 3 weeks later, I was right back weeding the garden again. Okay. And it was just kind of frustrating. It was frustrating to me until I realized that what I was doing was I wasn't getting to the root of the weeds. Okay. Or you with me? Okay. I was pulling the blade down. Okay. Or you with me? But I wasn't pulling the root up. Okay. Or you with me? Yeah. And because I wasn't pulling the root up, just pulling the blade down, what I was doing, I was pruning it. Or you with me? And what that caused, and what pruning does is, pruning just cuts back that it can come back, that it can come back much stronger. And I find out that's what we do with problems. We don't get to the root of the problem, thereby we don't solve the problem.
So in a spiritual how would you put that, Pastor? Well, in a spiritual example.
Well, spiritual example. Let's just say the problem we're dealing with somebody that's rebellious. Okay. Or you with me? Somebody that just does not does not heed advice, or wow. Or somebody that just does not want to listen to wise counsel. Or you with me? Now, They
always have problems.
Always
have problems. And going to be complain too.
Always.
But don't listen. Don't follow orders. Don't follow opinion. The advice. Should I say that?
Ain't no doubt about that,
Right.
Al.
Right.
Ain't
Good
no-
advice. Spiritual
Ain't no
advice.
doubt about that.
Okay.
Ain't no doubt about that. But now we have to sit down and figure out, okay, well, what's the problem? Now, we know this person is rebellious. We know that this person is doesn't take sound advice, wise advice, or you with me? But now, why? Why doesn't that person listen? Why doesn't that person take sound advice?
Is it something deeper?
It shows something deeper, and maybe it stems from, maybe we have to go back to childhood. Or you with me? Maybe we have to do some investigating to find out, what was happening in this person's background. What was their upbringing, or you with me? Was the family? Was it a single parent? Was something happened? Was it divorced? Was it rejection? Was it
Always
abuse?
disappointment.
Or you with me?
Right. No support. No support.
Sure, no support.
Come on,
sure.
Beth.
Or you with me? What we have to do is get to the root of that. We have to find the cause. Yes. Or you with me?
Yes.
I think in chemistry it says, now you put me on the spot, but for every reaction there's a cause.
Yes.
Or you with me?
Exactly,
So and it's the same thing. It's the same thing in life when we're dealing with with problems and trying to find solutions. I think that the responsibility lies in digging to the root of it to find out what's producing this response, or what's producing this action. Am I making sense to you?
Oh yeah, you're making very much. And I wanted my listening audience, I would love them to chime in and call in and maybe communicate with Pastor Rogers and ask him questions or give your opinion. And you can call us at 504-341-8255. And Pastor, I'm just going to say something to you. I'm looking at, this is the Tribune, and they talk about our children, and our children are any better since they, had fired teachers during the storm and thing, and our kids are any better. And I look at the school board and everything. And I'll put you on the spot.
You are.
Pastor, I always do, and because you can handle it. Pastor, what's your take on our schools? What's going on with our schools? Some of the, not just no criticism, we talk about solutions. What is missing from the solution?
Al, I think this speaks to what I just said. About finding the root of the problem, the root cause of the problem. Now, I'm a product of the '60s, and I firmly believe that school does not stop at 3 o'clock.
No.
Or you with me?
Come on.
I've raised 5 kids, and one of the things that I coined was something called educational lockdown. Now, people may not agree with me with this, but I have 2 sons.
You never worried about people agreeing with you. I just I want y'all to know that I know this man.
I do what's called educational lockdown. I'm down to the last 2 of 5 kids, and it has worked. And what educational lockdown says is Monday through Thursday, there's no television in the home. Monday through Thursday, my kids got to come home, they eat, and then they have to study. And when they finish studying, then it's time to go, then it's time for them to retire for the night. There's no such thing as, I'm finished, I'm playing video games. No. I teach my kids, listen, Dad go to work to make a paycheck, and you go to school to make grades. Or you with me? So I reinforce what they've learned or what they should have learned in school Monday through Thursday.
Pastor, would you say, and I'm keep putting you on the spot because I need to have some answers to the community. Is there a lack of leadership and sometimes credibility, lack of leadership? And I say that not so much criticizing up here, but just showing solutions to the problem. Now, people may not like the criticism, but it's for the better. Parents trying to please their children rather than raise them and teach. Come on.
There it is, right there. It starts at home. I believe
wow.
I believe it starts. I believe it starts at home. I don't believe we have. I don't believe that children are the problem. I don't believe that children are the problem. You cannot make me believe that I was the baddest child.
Come on.
I was the baddest child in the world. There's no child that was worse than I.
Okay.
First of all,
You
let me say that I was the baddest child in the world. But now, my mom, I would say, was the best parent in the world because she had a Bible in one hand and a belt in the other hand, and she could use them both.
Well, Bro Al Mims did that too.
Are you with me? Yeah, and she could use them both. So what I'm saying is, I believe it all stems back. And she did use them both. Yeah, I believe it all stems back to the home. Okay. I know when we were coming up, don't let the street light come on and we weren't inside. Ouch. Are you with me? Ouch. Don't let the adults be talking and I was in the room. Or are you with me? So it all stems back.
Go ahead on.
It stems back to the home. So now when we talk about the schools, here's the thing. If you don't respect mom and dad at home, we're gonna have a problem in the classroom. I tell my children, when you go to school, that teacher, that's your daddy. That teacher, that's your mama.
Well, hold that, now, Pastor Rogers. Hold that, because he got a lot, and you need to listen. Listen, my listening audience. We're gonna take our second break, and we'll be back with Pastor Rogers about solutions. New Orleans Talk Radio, Hostage That Fight Back, Brother Al Mims with Pastor Rogers.
That's all right.
The New Orleans Talk Network, now on your mobile device, on your computer, in your ear, and interactive. It's new, it's innovative, and it's on your mobile device. Android, iPhone, iPad, and on your computer. Take us wherever you go. Because we're interactive. 504-341-TALK. That's 504-341-8255.
Here at Jones Insurance, your full-service agency, let us take care of all your insurance needs. We provide homeowners insurance, flood, rental, commercial, auto, and life insurance. Don't let the unexpected tragedy destroy your family's future. Here at Jones Insurance, 7603 West Bank Expressway, Monroe, Louisiana, 772. Contact Lois at 504-348-1492.
Happy Merry Mondays. It's your girl, Mary J. I want you to tune in with me to Real Talk with Mary J on New Orleans Talk Network every Monday morning at 10 a.m. Then follow me to blogtalkradio.com/Real Talk with Mary J at 10 p.m. It's going to be a Merry Monday every Monday at 10 a.m. and 10 p.m. You've just tuned in to New Orleans Talk Network.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
Okay, Pastor Rogers, heart to heart. And I'm gonna tell you something, Pastor, you're heart to heart, and you're a soldier. I just want, and I put you on the spot purposely because, there's a lot of kids and families are failing because they don't have the knowledge, the ingenuity, and you have all those qualities. And I'm not putting you on the spot. I'm telling you that I need to. We need. I see our children suffering. I see our children failing. I see our children going to jail. I see our children getting suspended and lack of discipline and things because nobody has a credible solution. But and I'm gonna say this to you. He had boy. If you had heard on the break, there's some information going on here. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. He talks what he speaks what he talks. His action speaks louder than words. Talk is cheap. And I see a lot of parents talk about their children, and they say what they're gonna do. And Pastor, fail to put it in action, right?
I believe that I believe that our biggest problem now in our community is
Tell them what you said to me during the break. It's not a child problem. It's a what?
It's a lack. First of all, it's a lack of identity, man. Children are children, and children have a place.
And then they don't change.
And no, children don't change. Children don't.
And they
change.
need leadership.
Children needs to be led.
Corrected,
ain't no
protected.
Doubt about that. Children, it's not children. It's not the children. We love our children. It's not the children. We've lost our parenting skills. We've.
What do you think you brought that? What's that?
Al, you know, I can't put. I think again there was a disconnect with my generation. That 59, 60s, I think what happened was, if we can trace it back, remember I talked about root and fruit.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
If we can trace it back, I believe the generation that lost it was my generation. For whatever reason, we did not pass on, we didn't properly pass the baton on to the next generation. And when I think about it, it was because when I look back at that era, the 60s, the 70s, the peace movement, that's when this influx of drugs just came in. You know, we were, you know, everybody was just, crack hit. Well, when crack hit, now, Lord, man, when crack hit, that was they dropped a bomb on us with that.
That was an atomic bomb.
Oh, they dropped a bomb on us with that
and
crack.
And guess I got rid of some of them, too.
Oh, you
they
with
own.
In fact, I remember back in the 80s, I believe it's about 82, I believe it was in 82, there was a song, man, that hit the top of the charts called Crack Killed Applejack.
Yeah.
He jumped in, he couldn't jump back. He's just too blind to see that.
I remember.
That lived in the rock house. A promising NBA star, Maxwell, I can't remember his first name, the Celtics' #1 pick. Took one hit, bust his heart wide open.
Number one draft choice.
Number one draft choice. Promising career. Promising career.
And you know what? And we need to bring that back because you don't even hear. But there are people that that forgot about him, but that situation should never be forgotten.
I believe that was the problem. I believe, you know, that the drugs hit. We were so caught up in drugs, we were allowing the TV to raise our kids because we were getting high, and because we didn't pass it on to that generation, they couldn't pass it on to the next generation. Or you with me? Now we're in the third, we're 3 generations removed from when I was born. We're 3 generations. There's me, there's my child, I'm a grandfather now, and those children are about to have children. So we're 3 generations removed from our identity. When we come face to face with who we are as a people, we can't be stopped.
And you said, Pastor, you remember, crack did not discriminate.
No,
there were people that you would think would never. There was, you know, social acceptance of famous, money, poor. But what I'm trying to say is it didn't discriminate.
No, it didn't.
Know?
It didn't.
And we just not recovering from that.
We're recovering
and now
from that.
we talking about opium and thing. And let me say this, Pastor. This is my opinion only. I mean, my opinion is that I think that the opium thing started getting some visibility or some attention because white people was exceeding the murder rate of black people.
No doubt about that.
You know, because we were going to jail.
Right.
They were bringing us to jail.
Right.
I know because I served on the pro board. And there were many people that looked like us, Pastor, that shouldn't have been in jail. I said, well,
right.
He had a drug problem.
Right.
But now.
Right. And you know what that stemmed from? They had insurance, so they could go to rehab. We didn't have insurance, so they sent us to jail. When you got insurance, you go to rehab.
Now, see, you heard it from Pastor.
When you don't have insurance, you go to jail.
Now, let me say this to you people. Y'all, we talking right online when we talking about solutions. You heard it from Pastor Rogers. And I'm going to tell you something. That's why he's my friend. He's up front. He don't take the truth don't take no sabbaticals. That means he don't take no time out. He be still. And let me tell you something. He have beat me with the truth. He have kept me online. and that's my friend. But Pastor, that's what I'm saying is it was important. It's a special to have people like yourself, and it's not the Pastor Rogers that I respect and thing. It's the Christ in Pastor Rogers. Did I say it right, Pastor?
You said that right.
Yeah, because
you
let me
said
tell you
that right.
something. He ain't
Pastor's
nothing
just
nice.
a title.
He ain't nothing nice. Let me tell you something too. But he's a no nonsense person. He shoot him. I ain't gonna say the other, but shoot him. Pastor, he's a man of God, but he's a no nonsense. He loves. He can joke with the best of them. But when it comes down to lives and spiritual lives, where you're gonna spend eternity at, Pastor Rogers is real. And that's why I say I have great respect for you, Pastor. That I say put him on the spot, but that's where he always at.
Al, the Bible teaches us that wisdom is the principal thing. It says, so now, get wisdom, but it doesn't stop there. It says, now, once you get the wisdom, get an understanding of the wisdom that you got. Yes. Oh, you with me? Yes, so you have to combine a couple wisdom with understanding. I tell people it's one thing, to read the Bible. Anybody can tell me what it says, but do you know what it means?
Come on. Wait, Pastor.
A second grader can tell me what it says, but do you know what it means? Okay. Or you with me? That's why it says now understanding.
We get messed up, and that goes back to some teachers. Just because people can say it, don't mean they understand what they're saying.
No. See, here's the thing about life. I was with somebody last night that's expiring, 89 years old. And as I sit there and just look at him, and I just looked at him just about the transition, to the other side. Mortality. You come face to face with mortality, and I just felt so helpless, and it dawned on me that life is spiritual. Or you with me? Not only is life spiritual, death is spiritual. So in order to navigate successfully through life, you got to be spiritual, or life will take you out. And in order to be able to handle death, you have to be spiritual also. Or you with me? So what God does is He gives us these instructions on how to live life. And if you're not spiritual, life will take you out.
I want y'all to listen to that, and you can call in at 504-341-8255. You don't have to, but that's why Pastor Rogers is here this morning, but solutions. And I keep saying this all the time. You may not like the solutions because that means you got to get involved. You got to change, huh, Pastor? And sometimes you got to take a look at yourself and have a checkup from the neck up, huh?
I say this all the time. I am the change that I expect.
Oh, wow.
I'm the change I expect.
Yes,
Are you with me now? Yeah. Listen, if I may not can change the world, I may not can change my state, I may not can change my city, but if I can just impact my home, or you with me? If I can just impact my own home, if I can make sure that my children are in line, if I can make sure that my marriage is operating on an even keel, if I can just affect change in my own home, then I found out that if I affect change in my own home, then there's a great chance of what's happening inside my house will spill outside of the walls.
Yeah, because what happens at home goes to school and goes to society.
Ain't no doubt
it goes
about
in the
that.
neighborhood.
Ain't no doubt about
and
that.
Ain't no vice versa.
Ain't no doubt
I know
about
that.
that.
I know that from a law
about
enforcement, because I've court-watched for 26 years.
No doubt about it.
And let me say this to you.
Children ain't just rebellious at school. They're rebellious at home.
She took the words out of my mouth.
With me? What happens at home?
That's right.
It's going to spill. Are you with me?
And Pastor, let's go back to our mom. You would
Belt in the Bible.
Don't have me to come and look. Come to school. And,
No. Ain't no come to school. She wasn't coming to school.
No. Right.
You got to make sure she wasn't coming to school.
If she,
oh my! Not only was she coming to school, Don't let the teacher call home.
Don't let her call.
Oh my God, oh my God. I remember 3rd grade. Boy, I remember Miss Melton calling. I begged Miss Melton, oh, please don't call my mama. Whatever you do, don't call mama. Oh, you with me? Oh, no, you didn't want to.
All right, Pastor, hold that. We got our last break, and let me tell you something. I'm looking excited about, because we're going to have to come back in here with, I'm going to say this, before the break, we're going to have to come back here with the First Lady and him to see what she has to say about this. We're going to have a break, and we'll be back. This is Brother Al Mims with Pastor Rogers. Talk what you know, and possibly then fight back. New Orleans Talk Network.
Oh man. Well, everybody, this is Big Homie here, where you can catch me out on Facebook at Henry HeyYoU Singleton, or you can catch me on Twitter at HeyYoU15, babe.
Yeah, you know me, just a people person right here. I ain't got no Twitter, nothing like that, so you can look me up on Facebook at Patrick Slim Goody Jones.
It's your boy Fred. Look, you can check me out on Twitter at BFredJones, baby. Yeah, this is G with G Sports, man. You catch me on Twitter, G_paid_in_full08.
Pay me the money. Money.
Now New Orleans has a choice. Download the New Orleans Talk Network app for your mobile device, or listen at www.neworleanstalknetwork.com.
Hi, I'm Prophetess Charlene Duforce.
And I'm Bishop Carol Duforce.
We're Living Witnesses Ministries, and we come to you live every Wednesday morning
on the New Orleans Talk Network from 11 a.m. to 12 noon Central Time. And it's called Living by the Word Daily.
So we ask you to tune in and listen to us as we begin to teach the Word of God according to today's events. Thank you, and God bless you.
Thank you.
Nobody gives you better conversation about your quality of life.
Let everyone know you listen to
The New Orleans Talk Network.
This is Brother Al Mims with my special guest, and of course, well, really, you want to know the truth. This is his show. No, because this man of God, he tells it like it is, and that's another thing. Solutions. We should we don't need to have your input. We need to hear what God has to say and put it out the way it's supposed to be out. And he's a doer. See, a lot of people talk what should be done, but I like to see what be done. See, I think, Pastor, if you may say, I watch our fathers and mothers in action. And I was able to understand as a father now and a grandfather and an uncle, because I saw my father. My dad used to get up in the morning. I'm the oldest. I thought it was hard on me. I thought they hated me. I'm junior. My daddy got up at 4 in the morning, wake me up. Everybody else sleep, and the car didn't start. Fourth in me roll. Washington me roll. And he says, and he got his sandwich and everything. He says, son, I'm gonna see you later. I said, Dad, where you going? The car don't work. He said, I gotta go to the riverfront. He gotta go way to the river, Canal Street, to work on the riverfront. He said, I said, well, Dad, what you going about the car? I said, I'll check with that one later on. He said, but y'all gotta pay the rent.
That's right.
All this.
That's right.
So what I'm saying is, I watched my dad, but I didn't understand why. He said, son, when you get old, I may be dead and gone, Pastor, but you're gonna get it. Guess what? I understand. I'm a father, a grandfather.
Sure.
I'm a great grandfather.
Sure.
You know?
Now, subliminally, what your dad was doing, are you with me? He was teaching you how to handle responsibilities. Or you with me?
Everybody was asleep.
Everybody else was asleep.
All my brothers.
He was teaching you, watch this now, and in teaching you how to handle responsibilities, he was teaching you how to be a man. Or you with me? Because that's what men do. Men handle responsibilities.
Excuse me, Pastor. We have a caller on line one. Caller, good morning. Would you identify yourself, please? We have this Brother Mims with Pastor Rogers.
Good morning. It's Cameron Mims.
Hey, my son, my only son. How you doing?
I'm doing fine.
What can I do for you, my son? What you got to say?
Nothing. Just want to say something quickly about solutions. Kids basically raising themselves nowadays, and parents not being stepping up and being parents and letting their child do whatever they want. And it has to stop, because I've seen lately now this new generation up and coming. If we don't get a handle on this now when they're young, it's going to be way worse, because the children are going to suffer for the parents not teaching them what to do.
Cameron, how old are you?
22.
And what you want to talk about, Mom, a little bit? Expunge on Mom, and I'm not bragging, I'm not boasting, but how did we raise you?
Like a parent was supposed to do, not babysitting me, not being passive, always being aggressive on me, and making sure that I do what I'm supposed to do.
That sounds like Pastor Rogers, yeah.
Sound like my mama.
well, Cameron, and you see in the community a lot. When I was on the pro board, I took you to the prisons and things. And what did you see?
See parents making excuses for their children.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay. Well, Cameron, anything else you have to say? I just want to say I love you. Hey, my son, I'm proud of you, and you keep up the good work, yeah?
Yes, sir. Love you, too. Thank you, Pastor Rogers.
Thank you, sir.
Pastor.
Yeah.
And
again, we
listen to the show.
We don't have, listen, hear me, y'all, and this is from my heart. We don't have a you problem. We got a parenting problem.
Help me out with that.
Listen, we got a
parenting. And people don't want to hear that now. You know that, huh?
Well, we got a parenting
I gave my child everything they're supposed to get.
We got a parenting problem. That's one of the problems. You don't give children things. They earn things, because life ain't going to give them nothing.
And Mama,
life is
some things Mama wasn't going to give us, huh?
Mama? No, you got to learn to say no. Or are you with me?
Oh,
and you have to learn to say no. Yes, or you listen. I was taking the kids to school this morning, and I've been on my kids, man. I've been on my kids about leaving their bicycles outside.
Okay.
Or you with me?
Okay.
So I drove out, got in the car today. I said, "Wow, y'all left those bicycles out again, huh?" And they didn't say anything. I said, "I know what Dad's gonna do. I'm gonna get those bicycles away." I said, I know they got some kids that can appreciate those bicycles.
Put them up.
Or you with me? When you appreciate it, you take care of it.
That's right.
Or you with me?
Come on.
That's hard on money. Yeah. Nobody gave us that money to buy those bicycles.
Hard on money minor.
Hard on dad. Man, we had to work hard.
We had to show appreciation.
Or you with me? And all I ask you to do, listen, when you finish with it, put it up. Or you with me? Now, for me to keep telling them to put the bicycles up, watch this now, and for not to give them any consequences for not putting the bicycles up, what I'm doing is I'm affirming them not putting the bicycles up.
Yes.
Or you with me? I'm saying one thing verbally, but then my actions is saying something else. So there's got to be consequences now. Or you with me? It's got to be consequences.
Let me say this, and in Pastor, I'll have to apologize, but we got a few minutes left, and I'm going to give it to you. And what do you have to say as we wrap up?
Well, again, I'll close out the way that I started out, and that is, in order to solve a problem, in order to solve it, we first identified the problem, we come up with a viable solution, and then we focus on implementing the solution. It's like you said with the other Good Friday event. Or you with me? I knew what had to be done, so I didn't entertain people who were telling me other things. Or you with me? That didn't go along. I didn't even listen at it. Or you with me? Now, in hindsight, people can sit there and say, wow, that was epic. Or you with me? But the reason it was epic is because I stayed focused.
Yes.
Or you with me? When people, you're going to have people to close doors on you, people to say no on you, or you with me? But that shouldn't deter you. Are you with me? Rather than deterring you, that should make you more determined to see your vision come to pass.
With that said, and I need really we don't have enough time, but I want to say is that somewhere in the near future, in the next couple of weeks, Pastor Rogers is going to have his first lady, the first lady, with her. She's going to be our guest, and it's going to be a blessing to listen and to see what she has to say, because she ain't nothing nice either. And when I say nothing nice, that was a terminology that mama was good mama, huh?
That's right.
All right? So he ain't nothing nice. So this is Brother Al Mims, who was signing off with Pastor Rogers, my co-host and guest. How should that fight back? Keep alive. Keep hope alive.
Our listeners are as important as our guests. Join in on the conversation. 504-341-8255. The New Orleans Talk Network.